practically said most of the things that are the problem. My whole thing is that Igal actually said most of this in the beginning of the season, and a lot of you lot were arguing with him about if he was right or wrong.
Wait, what did Igal say?
I'm just thinking to myself, because Chelsea are a mess. Chelsea are a mess. I'm not going to lie to you. Chelsea are a mess.
No. There's a difference. Potch is creating a mess, bro. He's creating a mess. Do you know what I'm saying? Man's got a paintbrush and he's trying to do some plumbing with it, bro. Doesn't make sense. Do you know what I'm saying?
But bro, what's going on? You can say he's creating a mess, but the mess is still there. Do you get what I'm saying? The mess is still there. I've even said this from time. All right, you spent 1 billion, yeah, or I don't know the exact amount. And I looked at your bench and I was like, oh my word. How have you spent that much money and still don't have squad depth? Now,
so we're just gonna ignore the fact that we've got injuries, or
nine injuries.
Let me land. I understand that you've got injuries, but I saw this tweet where it's saying if you looked at the Bournemouth squad and the Chelsea squad and you saw them play today, you wouldn't know the team that spent 1 billion. Am I correct in saying that?
That's true. No,
this 1 billion gimmick, though. This 1 billion gimmick, yeah, Samuel. Yeah, like. We know what we spent the billion on. We didn't spend it on these world-class players because everyone's been killing Chelsea saying you lot should have bought more experience. So why are we banging on about something that we can all see? We know we didn't spend the money on
stupidly. That's
players.
Why you spent it stupidly.
I wouldn't say it was stupid.
I wouldn't say it's been spent stupidly. What's happening right now is that Potch is using the tools he's got incorrectly, bro. He's using them incorrectly, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Are you telling me? It's right for him to be playing Gallagher in the pivot? Let's be real here.
That's completely fine. Potch, again, I know he's digging his own grave and he's not playing like the whole thing with Chilwell left. I'm the one that first told you, Don, that he's playing Chilwell left wing. Come on now. It's problems. But what I'm saying to you is that you should have went out and bought a striker, a competent striker, instead of leaving Jackson on his own. That's the first mistake. Then the second mistake is, and now it is to do with the whole team, but I know you don't like this word, the experience. I genuinely think that Potch does not trust your team with the experience that he has. And that's why I believe he keeps on shoehorning Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva should not be playing, personally. He's too slow. When he plays on the ball, he releases the ball it's too long. And it's like he wants to play the game. How would I put it? He wants to play the game at his pace instead of actually speeding up the play. I genuinely think Potch doesn't trust your team, and this goes to the spending. And I'm not gonna be delusional. Of course, you're building for the future, but I just think the way Todd Bowley and Chelsea have spent the money, you could have spent it in better areas where, as a team, you could have been better. That's my opinion.
I think it's a fair challenge. There's a super chat here. I want to put to Winter Surfer. This says being optimistic. Draw is better than a loss. Gallagher was not bad. He's an easy scapegoat. Potch put him in. Cam, blame him. Attacking players were worse. Patience is what's being said here. What do you make of this super chat, Winter Surfer?
I'm okay with draws if my team plays well and it's it has to be the context of the draw. I agree. I don't think Gallagher played well at all today whatsoever. I think he's an easy scapegoat. If you're not putting Thiago Silva at the top of the worst player list today, then I don't know what you're talking about. He's one of the reasons our build-up is so bad. Gallagher does a job, and he did a job today, and he didn't play badly at all, in my opinion. Potch,
so he didn't break down any of our attacks then?
No, he hardly ever broke. No,
like he passed
it
to
yes,
Jackson's
he did.
right foot.
Yes, he did.
Actually played that bad. I'm not gonna lie.
No. This is what I'm saying. This is what people do. This is what people do, and it's really starting to annoy me about Gallagher. The guy's got a cap on his quality, bro. The guy has got a cap. Gallagher's good. This is not good enough for Chelsea.
Every game, you blame Gallagher for everything.
I'm not blaming Gallagher for the loss today. I'm not blaming him. I'm saying the good's not good enough.
The worst player on the pitch.
When did I say he's the worst player on the pitch? I didn't say that.
Every game.
I didn't say that.
I think
no. I didn't say Gallagher was the worst player on the pitch. I didn't say no. That didn't come out my mouth. All I said is Gallagher's not good enough.
Every game, even when
I do because he's not good enough. Because he's not good enough. Because he's not good enough. That's why.
I'm not a Gallagher backer, but you slight him every game.
But he's not good enough. He breaks down our attacks every single time, and people ignore it. Yes, he does. He literally did it today. He literally did it today. I don't know what you're watching, man. The guy was great. The guy, Matt, you landed it because I'm clearly seeing.
No, because I was going to say, Andrew, did you not see the 3-4 time where he passes to the wrong? Like, you'll be in the final third, he passes to Jackson's right foot instead of his left, passes behind him instead of in front. It's just those basic final third mistakes he does. I'm not solely blaming him for it, but he just did not play good at all today, Andrew. to get us to that win.
Well, that's false.
I'm not-
He didn't. That's false to say he didn't play good at all over that. That's just wrong.
I didn't say
No,
that.
I
I
wouldn't
didn't say he was
say-
the worst
I
player.
wouldn't-
once. I just said he's
I
not good
wouldn't
enough.
say
I can't
Andrew. I wouldn't say
remember the
anyone
last
played
time I
that good
left the
though.
game and
What?
went, oh, you know what? Conor Gallagher played well. I can't remember. There is no memorable Gallagher performance ever. It doesn't exist. All right. So stop acting like this guy can do anything. He can't.
I'm not.
I'm
I'm just
so
saying
sick.
you
I'm
guys
so
seem to go
sick
at
of
Gallagher
people going
all the time. and it's
every-
just wrong.
Because he
Every time at
starts
Chelsea,
every
in the
single game
past
and
2.5
doesn't do anything.
years at Chelsea, every single
Captain.
time, people keep going, manager. Manager keeps changing, still in the same issues. At what point are people going to switch their heads and go, actually, you know what? Sometimes maybe the players aren't good enough. Just sometimes change your focus. Because I get Potch is not doing things that we want to do, but sometimes these players are just not like how is he not scoring that chance? That should just be in the back of the net. I'm sorry. It
You
Andrew,
know
let me
what?
ask you a question. Let me ask you a question,
just
Andrew.
should
Yeah,
be.
what top 6 side does Gallagher start for? Comfortably?
That's not the
You tell
point.
me.
I'm not. That's not.
That is the
argument
point, bro.
whatsoever.
Because the
That's
quality,
not
the
argument.
quality
No,
is not
this
there.
is not the argument. This is about today's game.
Yes,
I'm
and in
not-
today's game, he's doing things that, as a midfielder, I expect you to do. The basics of the game. Make a simple through ball. He can't do it. Every single time he does it, he fluffs it.
Yeah.
Well,
Score
no,
in the
hang on a minute. Hang on a
every
minute.
single
Hang on
time
a
he does
minute,
it,
hang on
it's
a minute.
always a
You
shit.
don't- Hang on. You don't expect him to do that because he's not. You think he's not good enough to do that. So don't
But he's an
tell me
attacking
you expect
midfielder.
him to do that.
No, I
He
do.
did it
I
first off
expect
with Sterling.
Gallagher is an attacking midfielder, so I expect him to be able to finish from
He's
outside
not
the
an-
box. No, yeah, he is an attacking midfielder.
Wait, what
He
is he
an
then?
attacking
What is
midfielder.
he?
He's
What
not.
would you
He's
call
not.
him?
He's not a central midfielder. He's an attacking midfielder, bro. That's what he is. That's what he is. Gallagher, I expect to be on the end of things, crashing into the box, and I expect Gallagher to be able to create chances for the attackers. Right, simple through balls. I expect him to do. You can't tell me, oh, I shouldn't expect that from Gallagher because he's crap.
Well, no,
That
hang on a
goes to
minute.
show
How
you
can
that you shouldn't be in the
hang on a
11 then.
minute, Hang on a minute. You don't rate Gallagher, but you expect him to do all these things.
Yes, I expect an attacking midfielder to be
So
doing.
you don't
Hold
rate
on.
him. You don't rate him at all.
This is my
but you
point.
Expect
You're
him
make-
to do all these things.
But Andrew, you're making my point for me, bro. I
No,
expect my
you're
attacking.
making my point
No.
for me.
I expect.
You don't-
But hold on.
you
Okay,
don't
so
rate him.
basically, what you're saying is everything I expect my attacking midfielder to be able to do. Gallagher can't do it, but I shouldn't be able to come on here and say Gallagher shouldn't start for us because he
I
just
never
does
said
the
that.
basics all
I'm
right.
saying that every game you go to him first before you go to any other player. You go to him first for any other player. If you don't put Enzo was worse than Gallagher today by far.
Enzo's played in the wrong role.
Well,
That's why I'm not getting onto him.
but-
And I've seen more from Enzo.
Colwell
the whole time
was the
he's
worst
been here.
player.
Colwell was in the
you
wrong
have
role
a-
again.
Wrong role.
This super chat here, boys, says where was Enzo, Jackson, Sterling? All blame Gallagher. Gallagher.
This is what we're not.
We
We're
just
not
spoke about
blaming
Enzo.
just Gallagher. We've spoken about all of these players, but we've highlighted Gallagher because once again,
see, the problem is all I said that is we didn't play bad, and suddenly four Wolves jump on. That's what it is. You can't say Gallagher had a decent game or a good game because in your heads he doesn't.
Because he didn't. I'm not going to say.
sorry. If that's Chelsea level for you, Andrew, I'm sorry. Your standards have dropped.
Can-
Because Gallagher's
can-
not
can-
good enough.
Again,
Can I ask you
Enzo
Chelsea fans a
Fernandez,
question?
Can I
Enzo
just say-
Fernandez,
hang on,
Nicholas
hang on,
Jackson, and
hang on.
Raheem Sterling
Hang on.
can all
For the
have bad
past 6
games, and
years-
Conor Gallagher can also have a bad
for the
game
past
at the
Yeah,
exact same
exactly.
time. They can
For the
all
past
have bad games.
For the
But my
past
point
6 years,
is that Enzo, Sterling, and Jackson have shown far more in a Chelsea shirt to warrant us going, you know what, this might just be a bad day, or they're being played in a poor role. Whereas Gallagher, it doesn't exist. There is no role that we have found where you go, Conor Gallagher can consistently perform in that role. Hence why people go to him first, because he shouldn't be there in the first place. I get Thiago Silva's 40 years old, but Thiago Silva the past 2.5 years has been our best player. Of course, people aren't going to go for him. It doesn't make sense to go for him because he's been good. Conor Gallagher hasn't. He's never been good for our club.
I don't care what Thiago Silva's done in the past 2 years. I'm talking about now.
I hear what you said.
care.
Some more
Thiago
super
Silva's been
chat.
shit this season. He's
This
been
super
shit.
chat here. Sorry,
Every
wait,
game,
this
he's been crap.
This here says Gallagher just runs. His GA is non-existent. So what's the point of playing him? Be real. Dan Walters, over a different flavor, says we have one of the highest expected goals and missed big chances in the league. Mostly new players. I know it's hard, but our fans need to be patient.
Wait,
Dan,
Bro, patience.
Dan's my guy. Dan, you're my guy, yeah. And yes, we're creating chances, and today we're clear-cut chances. Players do take blame. Like I said, Jackson was terrible. Andrew, I'm not sure if you heard me talking about him. I literally said he was bad today. And David was trying to defend him. I said he was bad today. He was poor today. Yeah?
He was
It's not just Gallagher that I'm getting on. I've said Silva
Yeah.
was very slow in the build-up. I've gotten to him as well. But I'm sorry, Dan, use your eyes, bro. Yeah, use your eyes. We literally play in slow motion. We play in slow motion, right? It's like
Yes,
we
very
improvise,
slow.
bro. We improvise.
slow.
It is very slow. We're not playing
Very
well.
And to add on
I'm
to
ignore
what-
the stats.
This
And to add on
whole
to what
creating
Don said-
chances and this whole creating chances and converting thing, this is not new. This is a 6-year pandemic.
Exactly. That's
This is
exactly
not
the point.
This is not a now thing. Be patient. You can be patient all you want. If you play well, and you're missing stuff, but you're getting points, then you earn the patience. The manager's made a rod for his own back. He didn't change the system today. He just moved players in and out. That's all he did. He didn't change it. And Colwell is not a left back, and you're taking him off.
I hear the Colwell thing definitely. This is Gallagher is not an attacking midfielder. He is a CM. Potch put him there. Is what Numlink has got to say here. This here says Andrew Gallagher detracts from everyone else's game, makes Enzo play out of position, and is shoehorned into the team because of his work ethic and attitude.
He's our captain.
put-
It just
hang
goes to
on,
show
hang
how
on.
much Potch rates him.
Hang on. Gallagher didn't shoehorn Enzo out of position. Potch shoehorned Enzo out of position. Okay? This is down to Potch and his picking of the players in those positions. Okay? You want to blame a player for shoehorning? That doesn't work like that. It's
But
the manager and
Enzo was a
officer
10
role.
though, Andrew. Enzo was
not
a 10.
He's not a 10.
No, he was playing as a
I
10.
know.
He was playing much
but that's
higher,
a
and I
problem in
saw him.
itself.
And
You
I
have a
saw
10 on
him
the
coming
bench.
back. Yeah, and I saw exactly. But I'm saying I saw Enzo coming back to the penalty
And
spot,
it's
and
least
Gallagher jogging back. Now I'm not
and
going to say
it's
it's
the
Gallagher's
least
positioning.
effective game. It's least effective game in the Chelsea shirt today.
This super chat here says, Don, be real. Stop saying Potch needs to fix up. How is it on him? Players need to be more confident. Imagine if we take those first chances. Totally different game.
But guess what? We didn't take those chances. The players they get the blame for that. And then what happens after that? He doesn't change it enough. He's still negative and he's not brave enough. So yes, Potch does take the blame, and the players take the blame as well.
Yeah, I mean, why not change it at half time? Why do you have to wait 60 minutes to change something? Change it at half time.
This says Gallbladder as captain. Silva stays on. Gallbladder stays on. Potch out now to save the season. Get Mourinho, Conte, or Zidane.
To be fair, I was surprised when he took Enzo off and kept Gallagher on. I was like,
yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah.
As well.
I was
I'm
surprised.
not advocating for Gallagher.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that whatsoever. Terry knows me. I've been on this loads of times and slated Gallagher when he deserves it. And then, right, he wasn't the best player today, but it's Potch picking him, guys. You know what I mean? Gallagher's only doing what he's asked to do on the pitch.
Alex here says, is Potch instructing them to pass instead of shoot? Clearly not. I don't think so. I always think that's a scapegoat. This is a damning stat here from Musbar. It says 6 wins in all competitions in 2023. Potch is Potter in disguise. This team doesn't look like they are being coached.
But we're coming into October as well. That's 10 months and 6 wins. That is crazy.
But this is the thing. I think you will get better. However, if your form since the 8th of September last year, so over a year now, you've only accumulated 39 points in 37 games.
Yep.
Terry,
But
let
the
me
thing
ask you a question. Yeah, how do you expect players to improve and have a clear style of play and clear instructions, right? When they're not being set up correctly, how do you ever expect to build from that, Terry? Let me just ask you that question.
I think that's a very good question, and I hear you on that, and I think there's value to that. Do you know what the difference is I see between Potch's Chelsea and Angie's Tottenham? Pressure. I know that there's a weird narrative. There's no pressure on Chelsea to perform after £1 billion, but there's pressure on putting that Chelsea shirt on with the money that's spent to go and deliver. Where I think at Tottenham, the media love them. I think there is no expectation barring their own fans. And by the way, all they're happy with is with the ball being moved well. That's all they expect as a club. I just think the lack of pressure on them enables it to happen. If you took all of Brighton's players and put them in Man United shirts or Chelsea shirts, I guarantee you they wouldn't perform as well. The pressure of playing for those clubs is fundamentally different. I was talking to someone today, my brother, who's a Leyton Orient fan. He has no dog in the fight whatsoever. And he hears fans, because he watches what I do, watches what we all do. And he's like, what is wrong with top 6 fans? He says they don't live in reality. He says playing for Man United or Chelsea is different from playing for Bournemouth or Brighton. And that's someone who's an Orient fan who has no dog in the fight, doesn't care who wins the Premier League, just enjoys every game for what it is, and he's spot on. You know, there's zero bias in there. That's the difference. These young Chelsea players and Potch thus far have not handled the pressure, and what that pressure does, it makes you make mistakes. It makes Man United go to 4-4-2 diamond instead of just putting Palestri into that position on the right. It makes your manager overthink and go, oh, I'm going to stick so and so. Look at Potch at Tottenham. Up until the big moments when he made weird, harebrained decisions,
He choked.
They were brilliant, but he choked at the big moments because he overthought things. Why? Because he panicked.
Yep.
There's panic in Chelsea right now. And people ignore me when I say this all the time, and it's weird. It tells me you've never read the book of a great athlete or a manager or a player from a great team. 95% of what they speak about when it comes to what they achieved is based on what was going on in their head, not their ability. Like you read a Tiger Woods book or a Mike Tyson book or whoever, Tom Brady. They talk about mentality, work ethic, how they handle pressure. Me and Lee Gunn had a big fight last week. He doesn't think that sports psychology is an important thing. And it mad. Ara Charleston gets a sports psychologist. First game back, bang, scores a goal. Now, maybe that's just coincidence. Maybe. But maybe it isn't. I do think Chelsea's problems right now is more mental than it is tactical. I think people over-egg formations. I think we over-egg style of play and training drills. The difference is belief, man management, and handling pressure. I just don't think there's a fundamental difference in, these 5 teams do a different training drill to what you do, and therefore you can't make it. I don't think it's as basic. I get
the mental side of it, and I do think it plays a big part, yeah. But end of the day, I'm sorry, bro. Like, if you're trying to build a foundation, yeah, you need to build that foundation and just revert to basics. It's just the basics of football, bro. Play players in the best position that they can play in, especially because they're under pressure, like you've said, at a club like Chelsea. And you know, we need to pick up these results. I promise you now, the fan base would.
I agree with you. You should be playing people in the right positions, but I think Potch is already fit. I'm looking at Potch on the sideline, and he looks like a man already stressed. He doesn't look relaxed.
Exactly.
And that stress, some people, what do they say about pressure? Pressure either creates diamonds or it bursts pipes. And when I'm looking at Chelsea right now, I'm seeing the same issues I see with Man United. Things are good and things are going well until you get punched in the face, and then it all falls. If Bournemouth would have scored, then you guys would have capitulated. And you guys have been doing it for a year. My club does it. We're not different, and that can't be. In my opinion, it's not tactical. It's mental. Let's do some more of these super chats here. This says forever.